Okay, so we found our total current, our IT, t equals 0.67 milliamps. And it will redraw our Ohm's law we had over here, our V, our I, our R. And this, the V equals IR, is what Ohm's law is. So if you talk about Ohm's law, you're talking about V equals IR. Okay, so next, let's say we wanted to find, can't really see that color very well. Let's say we wanted to find V1. So what does V1 equal? V1 equals I1 times R1. Okay, so whatever subscript we're finding, just put that subscript to all of them. Okay, so because all of the current, the total current, this IT, goes through this resistor, we know I1 equals IT. Okay, so for that one, our I1 equals IT, which equals 0.67 milliamps. Okay, and the R we know is 10, so then the V1 equals 10 times this, or 10,000 because it's a kilo ohm. That's the mistake we made in the last one that we corrected. So 10,000 times 0.67 milliamps, 6.7 volts. Okay, so 6.7 volts is what is lost. You know, I guess if we're talking about the height thing, like how far does that first tube go from the ground? Like say for the first tube's height compared to where it started off, if the total height was 60 volts, this bit of it used 6.7 of the volts. So starting at this point here, if 6.7 is used, that means we have 53.3 volts remaining to be used for the rest of the circuit. Okay, so 53.3 volts at this point. This point it was 60. This point it's 53.3. Same amount of water is reaching this point, and now some of the water is going to go this way, and some of the water or current is going to go this way. Okay. The total resistance in this branch down here was 70 kilo ohms. Total resistance in this branch was 50 kilo ohms, right? So we know the voltage. Remember, something that's parallel has the same voltage at the beginnings. Okay, so here we don't know what our I is in this direction, and we don't know what our I is in this direction. We know what our I will be when they come back together, but in this part we're trying to figure out how much of it goes this way, how much of it goes this way. Okay, so let's do this one in a different color. Let's do like a purple. So let's call this I2, and we'll call this I4, I guess, just because this is 2 and this is 4. I4, okay, so I2 equals what? What is I? I is V over R. So which equals V2 over R. Maybe we'll just call this R2, R3. We'll call this R4, or I2, I3, and I4, I5. So I2, I3 equals V2, V3 over R2, R3. Okay? So yeah, so then our V2, V3 was the same, is going to be the same for both of them. So 53.3. And R2 plus R3 is 50. And you'll plug that into your calculator, and you'll get something in milliamps telling you how much current is going in this direction. Okay? And then for I, for I5, I equals V over R. So V over R, V is going to be the same for both of them. 53.3 divided by the total down here, which is 70. And you'll plug those two in, and you'll get the total I going across from here. And then once you have the total I in this branch and the I in this branch, you should be able to add those two together and get the 0.67. And you can also use those I's, okay, and multiply them by each individual R to get the corresponding voltage drop between each one of these points. Okay, so there'll be some voltage drop here, some voltage drop here, some voltage drop here, some voltage drop here, and in the end, whatever these points are, this is all as if it's just one point. Whatever it is when it comes out from here will be whatever voltage is remaining for this last bit there. Okay, I think that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So you'll have a voltage drop here and voltage drop here, and then that's what's remaining for this guy. And then you can multiply that voltage, or you can multiply the current, which you know it's the same. You can take the current, which was 0.67, multiply it by this guy, and then you'll get the voltage drop across from here. So you'll have a voltage drop here, you'll have a voltage drop here. Whatever's remaining will be what was used here. Or you could find this one, whatever's remaining is what's used here. Okay? So that's really, I know it seems complicated, but just go through this, go through the videos a few times, try the problems on your own, and then let me know if you have any questions or whether I was unclear of anything, and I'll post up the response. All right, talk to you later.